Hi everybody, this is Rosalind and this is my ketogenic life. I'm taking you on a little walk with me in our backyard. We have a basketball hoop out here and a little kind of court area that we've created. It's flooded, so I'm doing crazy eights back here as opposed to doing circles because I don't want to have to walk through water. So I'm just getting my steps in, and I wanted to chat with you today and share with you a little brief overview of my journey and why I have learned that tracking is essential for me. Maybe you think it's not essential for you. Maybe you don't track and you've had great success. But there are those of us who, for us, tracking isn't just a good idea, it is essential. I started keto back about roughly 6-7 years ago. And at first, and I was very good at tracking, and I was really a stickler about sticking to the macros. And I don't know how much weight I lost. It was a lot, especially when I look back at my pictures from that time. I can see I was very successful. And I didn't have scales, so I don't know how much weight I lost, but it was a lot. And then I started doing a lot of different things, doing different challenges that were outside keto, paleo challenges, different things. I listened to a lot of different voices, and some are good. Some are good for people who are at a maintenance stage, or they're really at a stage in their journey where they can try different things and it doesn't really mess with their head or doesn't send them on a spiral. I was not at that stage, and I wasn't really discriminating about who I was listening to. I also, as self-aware as I typically am, I really was not self-aware in that area of my life. And I am now. But somewhere about roughly 6 to 8 months after I started keto, I was experimenting. I was doing a whole bunch of things. It was fun, but it was not helpful. And that started up until, just a few weeks ago. This up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, in and out of keto all of the time. Cheat days, cheat weeks, cheat months. And it was, my friends here, who see me on a regular basis, they're no longer surprised when they see me lose weight, then gain weight, then lose weight, then gain weight. It is up and down. And of course, they know I'm keto. They know why, which I will be talking about, why I chose this lifestyle in another video, the health reasons that led me to keto. But one of the things that I didn't do for so much of this time is tracking, because, I thought, well, I don't need to track, or I don't have the time to track. It's going to make me obsess over food. All of these things that a lot of people actually say are negative aspects to tracking. But I will tell you, I've been tracking consistently for the past few weeks, and that is what has kept me on target. Now, I just switched yesterday to Carb Manager. I went ahead and upgraded on a monthly payment. I want to give it a month to see how well I like it. I have been on MyFitnessPal for, oh goodness, probably 15 years. But I liked the idea that I could set up my fasting schedules on Carb Manager. That was really a draw for me, since I do intermittent fasting. And so I'm giving that a try. Either one of them is good. But listen, if you're new to keto, if you really struggle with food addiction, if you struggle with a sugar addiction, if you struggle just to stay consistent, if you are not exactly sure how many, carbs, proteins, fats you are eating in a meal or in a day, you really need to track your food, because it is eye-opening. There were some foods that I was really certain were low carb until I put them in to the calculator, and I saw actually these foods are not low carb at all. I mean, they tell us that they are. People will tell us that they're keto foods, and they, they may be lower carb than, say, bread or pasta or something like that, but they are not low carb. They actually have a lot of carbs, and very easily can send you over your carb limit if you're going to be strict with your 20 grams of carbs a day. So I have found one of the things that has kept me very successful over these past few weeks, and has helped me to really take off the weight that I'm losing, and it's helping me meet my goals, is the food tracking. Once you get into it and you've been tracking for a while, it actually becomes easier, because in both Carb Manager and MyFitnessPal, it saves the foods that you've logged. So if you consistently eat roughly the same things, weekly or even bi-monthly, then, it'll get easier, because you'll just have all of your foods right there to pick from. It won't take you that long. But I just wanted to pop in and talk about the benefits of tracking your food. In another video, I'm going to talk about the benefits of accountability, and why having accountability is more than just joining an accountability group on MyFitnessPal or Carb Manager or Facebook or one of these other platforms. That you really need the one-on-one accountability with somebody who knows you, and somebody who's going to call you out when you are avoiding, or when you are, they can tell that you're maybe not being entirely honest or whatever. You need that accountability, because that has been another key to my success. But that's for another video. I'm going to get out of the sun, because it is hot here, and with all of the rain, now it's going to get really, really humid, and that's going to bring all the mosquitoes out, and I don't want to deal with that. So until next time, again, I am Rosalind Yukich. This is My Ketogenic Life. If you want to check out my blog, you can do so in the description box below, and I'll see you next time.